Sir, I think so. You are muted.
Your sound is not.
Okay, yes. Uh, am I audible?
Yes, sir. Now you're audible.
Okay. Good evening, students. Welcome back to the school quiz. Today, I am here. This is Prabhat Anand with a biology live session that is upon the topic how do organisms reproduce. In the previous sections, we had studied about the male reproductive system and the structure of sperm and something extra that is upon the topics related. So if you have any doubts, you can talk about that. If not, then we will be going further in this topic. Anyone? Have you any doubts? As I can see, Aniket, Raj, Palak, Shivam, anyone? Have you any doubts regarding these topics as we had discussed in the previous sections, or else anyone?
Sir, you may start the topic. We will ask the doubt in the meet.
Okay. So before starting the topic ahead, shall I ask some questions from you in the previous sections?
Yes, sir.
So the first question related with the previous topic, that is, what is the name of the hormone that is secreted by the male reproductive system? What is the name of the hormone that is secreted by the male reproductive system? Anyone? I repeat the question. What is the name of the male sex hormone that is secreted by the male reproductive system? So the hormone named was testosterone. Please do keep these words in mind. Testosterone. As we had studied in the previous class, that testosterone was the hormone that was being secreted by the male reproductive system, and it is secreted by the Leydig cells of the testes, right? Yes. So this is secreted by the Leydig cell and the hormone name is testosterone. Now my another question is, what is the common point from where urine and the sperm comes out? What is the common point, or we can say, yes,
Sir, urethra.
yes, the right answer is urethra. Urethra is the common point from where the sperm and the urine passes out from our body, right? So the third question related with that topic is, what is the sequence of the ejaculation of sperm? Anyone? What is the sequence of ejaculation of sperm from our body? Ejaculation means I am asking about the secretion of sperm that comes out from our body. What is its sequence in a sequential manner? Can you tell me? Anyone? As we had talked in the previous class, so I am asking from the previous section, if you have that things in the mind, can you reply that answer?
In I think in 74 days it comes.
Yes.
In 74 days.
Sorry, I am asking the sequence. I mean, from where its formation started and by which pathway it leads ahead. I am asking that. We can say that it starts producing in the seminiferous tubules, right? And then it passes into the retitestes, and then it passes into the vasa efferentia, and then it proceeds into the epididymis,
Tellicular,
and
sir.
then
Sir, it also goes in tellicular. I think it's also going tellicular.
tellicular, no,
Sir,
testiscular
Yes,
lobules.
sir, testicular.
Testiscular lobules. Inside the testiscular lobules, the seminiferous tubules are present, where the production of sperm takes place. So if we are mentioning the seminiferous tubule right here, then we will not mention the testicular lobule, because the testicular lobules is surrounded by the I think we can say that seminiferous tubule is surrounded by the testicular lobule, right? This was the structure, this was the lobule, and this duct was inside the lobule. This duct is the seminiferous tubule, right? If we are mentioning this thing, because the secretion takes place in this tube, so if we are mentioning this, so we will be not mentioning this lobe, right? This lobe is the testicular lobule, testicular lobule, but this is the seminiferous tubule. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So from
Yes,
here,
sir.
the sperm production starts, and then it passes into the network of tube, right? Network of tube, and this section we had said that this section is considered as the reti testis, and then it passes into a single duct that we says that vasa efferentia, right? After the vasa efferentia, it goes into the epididymis. After this, it goes into the epididymis, and then it goes into the vas deferens that we called as the sperm duct, right? From sperm duct, it passes into the urethra, and then it goes out from our body. This is the sequence. It starts from the seminiferous tubule, and then it passes into the, it starts from seminiferous tubule, and then it goes into the reti testis, and then it goes into the vasa efferentia, and then into the epididymis, and then into the vas deferens, and then lastly it comes out from our body through the urethral opening. Got it,
Yes, sir.
everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
if we will be asked the sequence, it is being asked many times in the CBSE examination, or in any other examination. You will see that this things is being asked many times, as in the previous classes also you would have understood or studied that in the kidney sections also,
Can I,
right?
can I have one? Yeah, so students, do you have doubt, or you don't have doubt? Any doubt there? Any doubt is not there for you? Aniket, Palak, Pragya, Shivam? Don't have any doubt there? I'm audible to everyone?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So you don't have any doubt? Ask your doubt, no? Just clear up your doubt there. Simple. Yeah, clear your doubt. So ask your doubts there. Okay?
Okay, sir.
So
Yeah.
if you have any doubts, and if you get doubts in the relatable topic, anyone, you can ask me. I will clear those things in the live session. That is, this is totally the doubt session. So don't be hesitate.
Ask your doubt. Yeah, yeah. Don't
Okay.
hesitate. Go on, ask your doubt
Don't
there.
hesitate asking the doubts. As I asked the question that this was the sequence, right? This was the sequence of sperm ejaculation, right? So our fourth question related with the previous topic, I am asking that what is the sequence of urination? What is the sequence of urination? That is, how do the urine comes out from our body? As we talked about the sequence of sperm, this is the sequence. In the same way, I am asking that what is the sequence of the urination? That is, how do our urine comes out from our body? Anyone?
Yes, sir. Sir, first the urine goes to the kidney. After that, it goes to the ureter. Then after it, urinary bladder, and then it goes to the urethra.
Right. So first of all, the urine, that is the waste material that is I think that is filtered out in the kidney, right? From kidney, it passes into the urinary bladder through the urethra. Sorry, through the ureter. That pipe is called the ureter, that comes out from the kidney and joins into the urinary bladder. And then lastly, the urinary bladder passes this into the urethra, and then it comes out from our body. So that was the fourth question, that is sequence upon the urination process, right? So fourth question related with that topic: what is the covering of the testis called? Testis is covered with a kind of layer. So that testis covering contains some kind of fluid that maintains the temperature of the testis, right? The temperature it maintains below our body temperature. It's 2 to 3 degree less than our body temperature. Okay, keep it in mind, because this question is being asked in the CBSE examination, that what is the function of the scrotum. So function of the scrotum is to maintain the temperature of the testes, and that temperature it maintains is below the body temperature, that is 2 to 3 degree Celsius, right? So our body temperature, normal body temperature is 37 degree Celsius. So it will maintain up to 35 to 34, right?
Okay, sir.
Everyone got it? So the
Can you repeat once again?
yes. So I said that the scrotum, that is the covering of our testes. This is the testis, and this testis is covered with a layer of covering, and this layer is called the scrotum. This layer is called the scrotum, and inside the scrotum and between the testis and scrotum, we can say inside the scrotum here some kind of fluid is present. Some kind of fluid, or we can say liquid is present, right? This liquid is present in the scrotum part, and this liquid maintains the temperature, maintains the temperature of our testes, right? This liquid maintains the temperature of our testes. This liquid, since it is contained in the scrotum, so indirectly we say that scrotum maintains the temperature of our testes, right? Everyone got it?
Sir,
Yes.
we can say the liquid present in the that scrotum is also known as, sir, फ्लूइड का नाम सर स्क्रॉटम हो सकता है?
No, no, no. Scrotum is the covering. Scrotum is the covering of testes. So we cannot mention that fluid as a scrotum. Fluid is the fluid filled cavity is called the scrotum, right? In the cavity in which fluid is contained, that cavity is called the scrotum. So covering of our testis is the scrotum automatically, because this covering maintains that cavity, and in that cavity the liquid is present, and this liquid maintains the temperature of our testes. Since our normal body temperature is 37 degree Celsius, everyone knows it. So it maintains the temperature up to 2 to 3 degrees Celsius less. 2 to 3 degrees Celsius less than body temperature. So its temperature, as we consider in the testis, the temperature would be 34 to 35 degrees Celsius, right? If we minus 2 to 3 degrees Celsius, it will be approximately 34 to 35 degrees Celsius. So the normal temperature of our testis is this, but our body temperature normal is 37 degree Celsius. And this is the function of our scrotum, that is present in the testis as a covering layer. Got it, everyone?
Yes, sir.
So this testis is
Yes.
covered with a layer of covering that is called as the scrotum, and inside the scrotum a fluid, a kind of fluid is present, and that fluid, or we can say scrotum, functions as to maintain the temperature of our testes less than the body temperature, that is 2 to 3 degrees Celsius less, right? And that could be in the option. Sometimes this question is being asked in this way, that we have four options, right? First option is 30 to 35 degree Celsius. Second option is 35 to 40 degrees Celsius, and third option is 25 to 30 degrees Celsius, and fourth option, as we can say, that 28 to 33 degrees Celsius, right? So our answer will be among the 30 to 35, because this value remains in the 30 to 35 degrees Celsius, right? 30 to 35 degrees Celsius. So please do keep these things in mind, and instead of keeping this, you keep this in mind that our body temperature normal is 37 degrees Celsius, and in the testis the temperature will be 2 to 3 degrees Celsius less than the body temperature. 2 to 3 degrees Celsius less than the body temperature, and automatically this comes into the 34 to 35 degree Celsius. Right? Everyone got it?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Shall I rub this?
Yes.
Okay. So this was the fourth question, and the last and final question from that topic I would like to ask from you guys, that we can say that what is the place where our urine is stored temporarily? What is the place where our urine is stored temporarily for a limited time period, where our urine is stored in our body? Anyone?
Sir, urinary bladder.
Right. That part is called the urinary bladder, because in the urinary bladder, after the urinary bladder, the urethral meatus is formed. That is the urethra. So for a time being, our urine that comes from the ureter, it is stored in the urinary bladder. In the urinary bladder. Everyone, please do keep these things in mind. This was the final question, as I have asked the 5 questions. That first was upon the hormonal secretion of our testes, that is the testosterone. Our testes secrete a hormone that is named as testosterone, and this testosterone is secreted by the Leydig cell present in the testes, right? Second question was, what is the common junction or common point from where the sperm and urine comes out from our body? That is, the answer is urethra. And the third question related with that topic was that what is the sequence of the sperm ejaculation? What is the sequence of the sperm ejaculation? That is, we can say that what is the sequence of the secretion of sperm from our body? So this is the sequence. It starts from the seminiferous tubule, and then into the retitestis, and then it passes into the vasa efferentia, and then it comes into the epididymis. It passes into the vas deferens, and eventually it passes into the urethra, and from here it comes out from our body, right? The fourth question related with that topic was, what is the sequence of the urination, right? Sequence of urination means how do our urine comes out from our body? The first answer, it starts from the urethra, or we can consider from kidney. So kidney, and then into the ureter, right? Kidney and then ureter, and then it comes into the urinary bladder, and eventually it shifts into the urethra, and it comes out, right? Anyone, have you any doubts regarding this now?
No.
No. So shall I proceed ahead in this topic?
Yes.
Sir, I have a doubt.
Yes.
What is hormones?
What is hormone? We can say that this hormone as a catalyst, it works as a catalyst in our body. As we study in the chemistry section, that catalyst starts the reaction. What it starts the reaction, or fast the reaction. In the same way, this hormone works in our body. This hormone starts the secretion of the sperm, it fasts the secretion of sperm. So the role of hormone in our body is the secretion starting and the fast, right? It starts the secretion and it fasts the secretion. Okay, so
Yes,
hormones
sir.
in our body, hormones, every gland produces different hormones. As we studied in the thyroid gland, the thyroxine named hormone is produced. And if we study in the adrenal gland, their cortisol is produced, right? So as we studied in the previous, I think you would have studied in the class 9th section that a thing that is we can say that iodine it is taken by the adrenal gland, right? So if iodine is not I think we can say that if iodine is not completely given to that, so it causes the goiter, that is inflammation of our neck, right? Anyone?
Yes.
Yes. So these things are all, it is dependent upon the hormonal secretion in our body. So hormones basically do the production, starts the production process, and we can say it also fast the production process in our body. So these things we studied, as we can say hormone as a enzyme, because if we consider these things, somehow protein is related with the enzyme and enzyme is related with the hormone, right? If you would have not know, if you are not knowing these things, please do keep this mind in your mind that all the proteins are not enzyme, are not hormone, right? But all the enzymes are protein. All the hormones are not we can say all the enzymes are not hormone, but all the hormones are enzyme. So indirectly we can say that this enzyme and hormone is the secretion of protein. Basically this protein is only considered as the enzyme and hormone due to its action in our body, right? When it acts as enzyme, so we call it the enzyme. When it acts as hormone, so we call it the hormone. But they both have the same things to do, that is starting and the fasting of the reaction. Got it? Got it, everyone?
Yes, sir.
all
Yes.
proteins all proteins are not enzyme, all proteins are not hormone, but all enzymes are protein, and we can say all hormones are protein, right? So these things, please do keep these things in mind. So we will move further in the topic, that is structure of female reproductive system. Have you any doubts regarding with the topics that we studied in the previous sections? If you have no doubts, then we will proceed in this topic. Anyone? Can you please give me the confirmation from you guys? Anyone? Please confirm
Sir,
me
what's
that
the function of pituitary gland?
yes.
Sir, function of pituitary gland.
Okay, function of pituitary gland, but this thing is not in your topic, right? So we will be not going further in this topic deeply, since this topic is related with the class 9th, or we can say with the class 10th, but these things is not mentioned in your I think in this class 10th term 2, right? So we will be not going on those topics which is not relatable with the term 2 section. We can say that this pituitary gland works as the secretory system in our body, as it secretes many hormones. As you will see that many hormones are secreted from our body. We have two types of hormone: pituitary gland formation, pituitary secretion, it's called, right? So different hormones is being secreted from the pituitary kind of glands. So we will be talking these things in further sections after the term 2 examination, if this is not basically the term 2 sections, right? So if you have any doubts regarding the term 2, you can ask. Okay, So shall I proceed in this topic if you have no doubts related with this?
Yes.
So,
Yes, sir.
so please keep your eye on the diagram because it is being asked to draw in the CBSE. So this I am drawing the female reproductive system. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So this is basically the female reproductive system that I am drawing right now. This is the simplest diagram that is upon the female reproductive system. This is the simplest diagram. This is the primary part of female reproductive system. This is the primary. As testis is the primary sex organ, you would be knowing that this testis that we studied in the male section, this is considered as the primary. Anyone? Primary part, right? Primary part of male reproductive system is the testis, and in the same way primary part of female is the ovary. Why do we call the primary? This is the ovary. Why do we call the primary? Anyone? Why do we call primary, secondary, these things? Why do we use? Since the production of sperm takes place in the testes, so we says that if production will start, then only it proceed ahead. So the primary function, that is the production, and it takes place in the testes, so we call that primary part for the male is the testes. And in the same way the ovum is secreted, or we can say produces, in the ovary, so we call the ovary as the primary part of female reproductive system, right? This is the primary part. This is the primary part. So as we can see that this is somehow the female reproductive system, right? Is it visible?
Yes.
Yes.
So now shall I label this?
Yes.
Okay, so this is somehow the reproductive system of female, and this finger like projection you can see in the both side, there is finger like projection. This finger like projection is called the fimbriae. Okay, fimbriae. This finger like projection is called the fimbriae, and the section which is related with the single projection, finger like projection, this section, we can say this section is called the infundibulum. Okay, this section is called the infundibulum, and infundibulum bears a finger like projection, and this finger like projection is called the fimbriae. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Everyone got?
Yes.
Okay, so after the infundibulum, this section is the elongated section. Somehow we can say this is the pushback of the this section, so we can say that this is the elongated section. So this section is basically called the ampulla. This is called the ampulla. Got it? And after the ampulla, it eventually it comes into the isthmus. These all are the parts, that is, first is the isthmus, second is the ampulla, and third is the infundibulum. These three parts combiningly called the fallopian tube. What do we call these three parts combiningly? Anyone?
Fallopian tube.
Fallopian tube, right. So what is the other name of fallopian tube? As we discussed in the testis section, that the other name of vas deferens is sperm duct. In the same way, fallopian tube will be called as oviduct or fallopian tube, right? Oviduct or fallopian tube. So fallopian tube is the oviduct is the other name given to the fallopian tube. Since ovum goes into the fallopian tube, or we can say since ovum replicates into the fallopian tube, so we use the word oviduct, right? We use the word oviduct. After the oviduct, we can see that this is the gapping. This is the gapping. Somehow you can see that this is the stretchable part, which I have made like a ring like structure. This is the stretchable part, which is stresses we can say while the delivery of the baby, right? So this is the stretchable part. So this is made somehow as a ring like structure or spring like structure, right? And this part, which we say fundus or fundic region, we say this fundus or fundic region. Got it? This region is called fundus or fundic region. Okay, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Is it clear? So inside the fundic region, this region, since it belongs to the uterus region, so this region, this cavity is called the uterine cavity. This is called the uterine cavity. And this part, this section, we call the uterus. This is the shifted part. This is the bag like structure. Since the diagram is not the 3D way, right? So we cannot, so here in the 3D way, so assume that this part is somehow the bag like structure, right? This is somehow the bag like structure, and this bag like structure is called the uterus. And what is the other name of uterus? What do we call the uterus in other words? Since uterus is the part where the development of baby takes place, right? This is the part where development of baby takes place, and this part is called the womb. Womb in Hindi we say cock, right? In the female system we say this as cock in the Hindi, and this is in biological word with term we uses the uterus or womb, right? Everyone got it?
Yes.
Development of baby takes place in the, question will be asked that development of baby takes place in the uterus, and uterus has other name, that is the womb. Okay, so in the uterus region we can see that two kinds of layer are present. First is the outermost layer, and the other is the inner layer, right? Inner layer is a spring formed layer, and this spring formed layer is called the endometrium. This is called the endometrium. And after the endometrium, this gapping is present. This gapping, this layer, this we can say this tissues which are present here, this is said to be the myometrium. Region, every region has its usual words, right? So this spring like structure is called the endometrium. After the endometrium, this is called the perimetrium, and after the perimetrium, this is the last part. This we can see, this is the last part, and this last part is called the perimetrium. So this uterus is formed with three layers, that is the endometrium, myometrium, and perimetrium. Got it? Uterus is formed with the three layers, that is the endometrium, myometrium, and perimetrium. And what is the innermost layer of the uterus called? That is called the endometrium. Got it?
Yes.
Everyone?
Yes.
Okay. So uterus has a covering layer that is called the endometrium, and inside the endometrium only a projection, or we can say a process formed when the development of baby starts, or after the fertilization a process starts in the endometrium, that is in the uterus, and a process that is called as the placenta. Right, everyone, I think you would have listened these words, that the process that is taking place in the uterus part, that is called the placenta, and this placenta is only the common point for the connectivity of mother with the fetus. Right, everyone, this placenta only supplies the nutrition to the embryo, or we can say the fetus, right? And the fetus excretes out through the placenta only. And after the placenta, if we say the joining after the placenta with the fetus, this joining is called the umbilical cord. Umbilical cord. Okay, this joining is called the umbilical cord, but the common point from where the mother and the fetus or embryo is connected, this is called the placenta. Okay, everyone, it is clear? Placenta is the common point from where the embryo and the mother is connected to each other. And after the placenta, if we consider the embryo is connected with the umbilical cord. Okay, so this is the thing that is that takes place after the fertilization. So before fertilization, we are talking here that this layer is called the endometrium, this is called the myometrium, and this is called the perimetrium. Okay, so after this we can say that the layer that is in red colored I have made, this is called the ovary, and here only this ovum production takes place. Ovum production takes place. So primary part of any female reproductive system is the ovary, where ovum produces. And how do the ovum produces? As in the testis we mentioned the kind of hormone. So for female reproductive system, that is secreted from our, we can say the female reproductive system secreted some kind of hormone. That hormone names are, what are the hormones that is secreted by the female reproductive system, as I have taught in the previous section? Anyone, can you answer?
Sir, estrogen.
Yes, estrogen. That hormone is the estrogen. And one more hormone that is secreted, that is called the progesterone. Right, this is called the progesterone. First hormone is the estrogen, and then it is the progesterone. But we can say this both hormone functions in a coordinate way, and due to the action of this both hormone, the production of ovum takes place in the ovary. Right, the production of ovum takes place due to the action of both the hormone, that is the estrogen and the progesterone, that is secreted in the ovary. Everyone, it is clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, so this is the female reproductive system, and now we will be mentioning the vagina and the cervical canal. You can see that this is the cervix part, this is the cervix part, and in between this is the vaginal part, this is the vaginal part, and after the vagina we called it as cervical canal. This is as cervical canal. So vagina leads into the cervical canal, and cervix is outside the vagina. You can see that chamber is different. For vagina and cervix, the chamber is different. So the vagina chamber leads into the cervical canal. So along with the cervical canal, vagina is also called as the birth canal. This is also called as the birth canal, because the baby comes out from this part. baby comes out from this part, from this area. So this area belongs to the cervical canal and this area belongs to the vaginal part. So these both are considered as the birth canal. Or we will be asked a question that what is the other name of vagina? What is the other name of vagina? So other name of vagina is the birth canal. As we can say that as the glans penis is the penetrating part of the male reproductive system, right? So the injecting part of vagina, injecting part of the female reproductive system for male penis is the vagina, right? The first part is the vagina. Everyone, is it clear? The
Yes.
penetrating part for the glans penis is the vagina. Vagina leads into the cervix, cervical canal, and cervical canal leads into the uterus part, that is the uterine cavity, right? Uterine cavity, and through this part only the sperm that enters from the glans penis, it moves into the fallopian tube. It moves into the fallopian tube through this part. Some sperm goes from this area, some sperm goes to this area, right? And after coming into the ampullar region, and this also the ampullar region is this. So after coming into the ampullar region, the secretion of ovum also takes place. Secretion of ovum, as it takes place, the fimbriae part, as I mentioned in the infundibulum region, this fimbriae part catches that ovum. The ovum which is secreted out or produced out, we can say from the ovary, it is being catched by the fimbriae part and it makes it enter into the fallopian tube, right? The function of fimbriae is to catch the ovum and make it enter into the fallopian tube. And when it enters into the fallopian tube, it goes into the ampullar region, and the fertilization, that is the ovum and the sperm meet with each other in the ampullar region. So ampulla is the fertilization part that is in the female reproductive system, right? Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay, so fertilization takes place in the ampulla region, but the ampulla region belongs to which part? What is the part name? Ampulla region belongs to which part? Anyone? Since the question can be asked in two ways. First is in the differentiated way, that is infundibulum, ampulla, and the isthmus, right? Three sections for which? Fallopian tube. So for fallopian tube also the questions can be asked, right? So options can be in two ways. First, the answer will be the ampulla, and in the second, that the option will be the fallopian tube or oviduct. Got it, everyone?
Yes.
Okay. So yes, yes. Anyone? Are you asking something? I think Pragya, are you
No,
asking something?
no,
Okay. So these things, that is I talked about the fertilization process, that is the fusion of gamete, right? Fusion of gamete, that is sperm with ovum, and this section is called the ampullar region. And since this belongs to the fallopian tube region, so we can say the fertilization, or we can say fusion of gamete, takes place in the ampulla or fallopian tube or oviduct. Got it?
Yes.
Okay. So after the fertilization only it comes into the uterine cavity. Uterine cavity, and then it passes into the uterus, and development of baby starts in the uterus, right? So these things functions in a coordinate way, that is first the ovary produces and it lefts into the cytoplasmic content, and through the cytoplasmic content the fimbriae catches the ovum and make it enter into the fallopian tube, and then the fertilization of gamete occur. So in a single, if we say in a single time only one ovary can produce a ovum. Please keep it in mind that if this ovary is working, so this ovary will not work. Okay, so in a single time only one ovum can be produced only one ovum can be secreted out, and either from the left side or from the right side. Is it clear? Only
Yes.
one ovum is produced at a time. Only one ovum is produced at a time, that is either from the left side of the ovary or from the right side of the ovary. Okay, so one ovum only produces in a time period of 28 days, and that 28 days we call as the menstrual cycle. That is called as the menstrual cycle that occurs in a girl, or we can say in a female, right? This menstrual cycle is also sometimes called as the periodic cycle, right? This we call as the periods that occurs in a female or in a girl, that is of 28 days, that is from first day the formation of gamete start, that is the ovum start, and on the 14th day it is secreted out from the ovary, and after the 14th day it takes some times to come into the ampullar region, that is fallopian tube, and waits for the sperm to come in. And if the sperm doesn't come, then it goes into the uterus, and then the bleeding starts, and that bleeding we call as the menstrual cycle, if the fertilization of gamete doesn't take place, right? So this is the 28 days cycle. After the 14-day ovulation, more 14 days are added to this cycle for the time period given for the sperm to reach to the ovum, and this from first day to 14 to 14 day, this total we call as the 28-day cycle, and this is the menstrual cycle. Okay, is it clear? Before the we can say till the 28th day, the high secretion of estrogen takes place. We have two hormones, that is the first is the estrogen and the second is the progesterone, right? So estrogen hormone secretion is higher in the first 14 days, but it is less secreted after the 14 days. But after the 14 days, the progesterone hormone secretion is higher due to maintenance of the ovary. Since the ovary loses its cell, so for the maintenance of the ovary, the progesterone hormone is secreted, and that part we will be studying in the higher classes, that what is that part that is maintained by the progesterone hormone. Okay, so please keep these things in mind, that till your we have that first 14 days the estrogen secretion is high, and after the 14 days the progesterone hormone secretion is high, and these two hormones work in a coordinate way, and if the progesterone secretion is high, then we say that ovary is maintained there, right? The ovary that loses the ovum, it is maintaining there, okay, due to the production of progesterone hormone. Everyone, it is clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, shall I rub the board? If you take the screenshot, then you can take. If not, then I will rub.
Yes, sir. You can. We have taken.
Okay. So if you have doubts related with this now, you can ask that we have studied this. So we will be moving further in this topic. Only some points are left. So we will be talking in there. So with this topic, the first question, that is, what is the sequence of ovulation? The process by which the ovum is produced is called the ovum is secreted out from the ovary is called the ovulation. Okay, the process is called as ovulation. So what is the sequence of ovulation? Ovulation is the process by which the ovum is secreted out from the ovary, or released out from the ovary, we can say. So its sequence is from ovary, it goes into the fallopian tube, and here if fertilization takes place, so it reaches into the uterus. Okay, and then it comes out from the cervical canal or vagina after the fertilization if doesn't occur, right? And if fertilization occurs, the uterus releases after the 9 month, that is the delivery of the baby, from the birth canal. And birth canal consists of the both part, that is the cervical canal, that is birth canal, we can say that this is the cervical canal along with the vagina, okay. So one thing I haven't said, that in the vaginal part, this one membranous structure is present. Here this is the vaginal part, this is the cervical canal, right? And in between that a membranous structure is present, and this structure is called the hymen. But what is the membranous structure? Hymen functions. What is the function of hymen? Since this hymen is considered as the sign for the virginity of a female, that is the female is experienced the sexual mating or not, this structure, if it is present or not present, we say that this structure says the truth for that, right? But it is not completely, true. Okay, it is not completely true. Why? What is the reason? Because in some female this hymen structure is much strong, and in some female it is much weak. Okay, much strong and much weak. But what are the cases? If much strong, then the female, if we say that that girl or that female taken the reproductive cycle, that is the mating, okay, intercourse between the female and the male, if took place, then in the strong female that hymen is present, so after the mating also this hymen will be not broken. Okay, this hymen will persist. In some cases it takes place that after the mating also, after the intercourse between the male and the female also, the hymen persists in some females. But in some cases, that is we consider that weaker. So in the cases of weaker, sometimes the physical activities like horse riding, cycling, due to high jumping, the hymen gets broken, and in that cases the girl didn't experience the sexual characteristic, that is intercourse doesn't take place, but then also the hymen is lost. So due to these two cases, due to the persistent after the intercourse and due to the physical activity, the broken of the hymen, it is not considered completely that the presence or absence of hymen does not represent the virginity in a female or girl, right? Everyone got it? If the hymen is present or not present, so it doesn't determine the virginity of a female. Virginity means the female that female has experienced the intercourse, or we can say the mating between the male and female took place or not. It doesn't determine after the presence or absence of hymen. Okay, is it clear, everyone?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
Sir, I
so
have doubt.
okay, please ask the doubt.
Sir, if the hymen will be broken, then what happen?
So nothing it will take place, but presence of hymen or absence of hymen, we consider that this is somehow in the previous times when these things were not clear, it was said that presence of hymen determine the virginity and absence of hymen determine the non-virginity, right? So if hymen is present or not present, nothing will happen to the female body, okay, because its function is, this is a membranous structure and it has not any functions related with the female reproductive system, okay. So presence or absence did not affect the female reproductive system. Everyone got it? I think Rani got
Yes,
it.
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so hymen is hymen has no another role any. Okay, so presence or absence of hymen doesn't determine the virginity of a female. So this is over. Now ovulation, since the ovulation is the process in which the ovum is secreted out from the ovary or released out from the ovary, but the secretion, that is we can say production of ovum, takes place in the ovary, and that process is called as the oogenesis. Production of ovum in the ovary is the process called the oogenesis. We have two processes right here. First is the ovulation, second is the oogenesis. But oogenesis will take place, then only the ovulation will occur. So if ovum is produced, then only the ovulation cycle will start. Okay. So this is the production of ovum. This process is the production of ovum, and this process is the release of ovum from ovary. Okay, these two processes are different. First is the oogenesis. First of all, the production of ovum will take place, and then the ovum will be released out from the ovary, and that process, by the process called the ovulation. In the similar way, if we talk in the male reproductive system, the process production of sperm is called the spermatogenesis. Spermatogenesis. Okay. The second is the spermiogenesis. Spermiogenesis. And the third is the spermiation. Okay. This is totally above the 10th level. So I haven't talked on to these topics. But as we talked the production of ovum, the process, in the same way I will be talking about the production of the testis and the release, production of sperm in the testis and release of sperm from the testis. So this process, spermatogenesis, is the production process. Production of sperm by the process of spermatogenesis. But when the production of sperm takes place, the sperm goes into the, attaches with the Sertoli cell for the maturation, right? We had talked in the previous section that maturation takes place due to the providence of nutrition from the Sertoli cell. Sertoli cell was the cell that provides nutrition to the sperm in the testis. So after the we can say that sperm takes the nutrition, it matures in the testis. So for the maturation, it joins into the Sertoli cell. So joining of sperm with, or we can use here attachment. Okay, joining or attachment. Joining of sperm with Sertoli cell for nutrition. For nutrition, the process is called, the joining process is called the spermiogenesis. Got it? Everyone got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Production process is the spermatogenesis. Attachment with the Sertoli cell, the process is called the spermiogenesis, because after the production, the sperm will relocate from that part. So relocation process, that is joining with the Sertoli cell. So that process is called the spermiogenesis. After the maturation, it is released out from the testis, and the release of sperm release of sperm takes place by the process of spermiation. Spermiation. This three process takes place in the testes. This takes place in the testes, and these two process takes place in the ovary. Right? Everyone clear?
Yes, sir.
So this is all about now for the female reproductive system. If you have no doubts, so if you have any doubts, you can ask. If you have no doubts, we will stop this session today, and for the further we will be talking in next session, that is upon the menstrual cycle and the ovulation cycle. How does it occur in a female? We will be taking these things in a diagrammatic way. Okay, ovulation cycle, I will be showing the ovulation cycle, how does it occur in a ovary. Okay, so please join in the next session also, and we will be also talking that upon the menstrual cycle, because all the points that is upon the menstrual cycle I haven't cleared right now, because we were talking on the topic reproductive system of female, so we haven't mentioned that